Horseradish adds a lot of zest to many of our favorite foods, and the same can be said for lemons. So let's head now to California, where this little ball of citrus has been a boon for one region and one producer in particular.
On a hot summer day, you love them in cool drinks. Come cold weather, a slice of lemon is perfect in that hot cup of tea. But green is an important part of this story, as well as yellow. The green here is all about sustainability. In this case, sustainability involving the land and the people working it.
A lot of people think sustainability is green. That's only one portion of it. Sustainability encompasses many different things. Involvement with the community, involvement with your employees, benefits for your employees on down the road. And this company's been doing that for 115 years.
Alex Teague is the vice president for Limonera, a family-owned citrus company that's been raising lemons in Santa Paula, California since way back in the 1890s. Back then, Santa Paula was a company town with families living on and working the land. And long before the movies came to California, the area was famous for citrus.
Lemons were started as just part of the mix. Even though the name is Limonera, which is lemon lands in Portuguese, they looked at the land, the weather temperatures. When they got here, they didn't have any tensiometers. They just kind of stuck their finger up in the air and said, you know, this weather's an awful lot like the southern part of Italy, Sicily, where they grow a lot of lemons.
It didn't take long to see gold in the yellow crops of lemons here. Trees were planted, harvests grew larger, and the region established itself as one of the premier lemon growing areas in the United States. Lemons like these are a major agricultural product for California. The state will produce some 650 million tons of lemons a year. And while there are other producers in the United States, Arizona for example, the Golden State will produce close to 90% of our country's lemon crop. Ventura County, home to Santa Paula and Limonera, produces about 50% of California's lemon crop. And even as the current crop is being harvested, blossoms are in place for the next set of fruit.
It's about 10 months from the time of flowering, setting, to the time of pick.
And this is unique to coastal growing?
Pretty much. They enjoy being alive 365 days. They don't have to shut down in the wintertime.
California's mild coastal climate allows harvesting almost year-round. That bounty means growers can be particular about the quality of the fruit. It takes a certain kind of lemon to make the grade. So show me the different grades of lemons.
Okay, generally on this tree you'll have about 3 different grades of lemons, what we consider a first grade, second grade, third grade, not very imaginative. But something like this would be a first grade piece of fruit where aesthetically it's very clean on the outside. And generally if you want to go for a second grade piece of fruit, we're looking at something that's pretty clean but has a little bit of scarring. And then for an example, a third grade piece of fruit, which just gets tortured by Mother Nature, will be a lot of branches or leaf scarring that you see there. And that would be a third grade piece of fruit that only when the supplies are really tight would you see this go into the fresh market.
And while those less than picture-perfect grade 3 pucker producers usually end up in lemon juice, there is virtually no flavor difference between the grades. For the person who's in the grocery store and they're picking through the lemons, I happen to be one of these people, and I grab a lemon and I'll squeeze it and look at it and squeeze. What should I look for?
Well, it's a good question, and actually you're pretty much on the right track. Generally what I would like to look for is if you go in, you look for a real smooth texture. The smoother texture you have, the more juice most likely it's going to be inside.
Of course, before a single lemon makes it to your market to be poked and prodded, or home to be squeezed and juiced, it must be plucked from the tree by hand. And unlike many fruits, lemons, with proper storage, will continue to ripen or cure after being harvested. That means they can be stored longer and shipped farther. That's done on site, with the company packing 1 million lemons a day in boxes that make their way to domestic and overseas markets. And the sustainability that Alex Teague talks about involves the company and the community. As part of its operations, Limonera opened a huge composting facility.
We take 90% of the municipality's green waste, everybody's lawns, everybody's bushes, and we bring it here, mulch it, grind it up, mulch it, and we put it in the fields.
This waste comes from how many different places in this area?
Well, basically 5 municipalities or the western part of the county is what we take care of, both the incorporated and unincorporated areas.
And very cost effective for a whole variety of reasons.
Very cost effective, both for the municipality and for ourselves. I mean, it's really, we have a couple other sites going around the state, and it's really the only true win-win-win that we've ever seen.
Alex says the program is an opportunity for cities and rural areas to work together on projects benefiting both.